Hello, all my crafty friends. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back in the saddle again. Been a little sidetracked with some renovation that I've had going on at my house with a major addition and a bathroom rebuild. So I apologize for the lateness of the videos, but I did have some patriotic crafts that I wanted to share before the season turns to summer crafts. I want to give a huge shout out. Thank you to all of my returning followers and viewers. And if you're new to the channel, if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. So, with that in mind, let's get to crafting on some cute patriotic decor for your home. I have here are some pieces of 2x4 scrap wood, and I'm going to stain those with some watered down wax. And the reason I'm doing this is because once I distress these, I want that color to show through once I finish distressing them. So what I'm doing is making some little shelf sitters today. 3. The images that I found on Google, and I chose the ones I wanted, and then using my printer paper with a piece of tissue over it, I ran those through the printer and made some really cute images that I'm going to decoupage onto these once they're ready to go. I lost just a little bit of my footage where I actually painted these and showed you my chalk paint. I used Home Decor white chalk paint, and I had those all covered. So now what I want to do is I want to add a generous amount of Mod Podge. I'm actually going to Mod Podge these all over to protect that chalk paint. And then once my Mod Podge is completely dry, I'm going to use the iron-on method to apply my images to the shelf sitters. Now that my Mod Podge is completely dry, I have done a little bit of fussy cutting around my images to do away with some of that negative space. But as you can see, I'm going to decide which images I want, and I'm going to make these double-sided. So I want to put an image on both sides, and I did print enough to do that. So when I figure out which image I want on which side where I want it, I'm going to place a piece of parchment paper over it and then iron it using my Cricut mini press to make sure that that Mod Podge is reactivated and holds onto the image very well. And I'm going to be doing this for all 3 pieces with the various images to have a collection of shelf sitters. Once I have my images ironed on and I'm happy with the results, I am going to use a small piece of cling wrap just to press the image to make sure that there are no wrinkles or no bubbles, to make sure it's adhering very well. And then I'm going to use my finger sander that I actually got this from Amazon, ordered it from Amazon. I'm going to use that in a downward motion away from my image so that I can remove the excess tissue paper. And then I'll seal it with another thin coat of Mod Podge just to protect the image. Now, I'll just go ahead and let you know I am a sucker for bows on anything that I make, but I didn't want anything, big, ostentatious, or overpowering on these small shelf sitters. So I basically took a small length, about probably 6 to 8 inches of ribbon. And I chose the ribbon that I wanted. I wanted to do 2 different ribbons, and then I left one without a ribbon at all. I chose the ribbon that I wanted. I cut the length that I wanted. And then I dovetail the ends of my ribbon. And I'm literally just going to go probably 2 inches in, scrunch it up on either end, and make just one single loop. And I'm using my clear rubber bands to hold that in place. And then I'm just going to spread it out on the bottom, attach it with a generous amount of hot glue, hold that in place until it's ready, and then just fluff it out. But I think it just completes these little shelf sitters. I did just a little bit of distressing on these. 2 of them I left just once I sanded it off the edges, the brown color underneath where I used the wax to stain it, and then a little bit of blue on the edge of one, but sanded the majority of it off just to give it a little bit of dimension and a different color. And here they are all finished. I'll show you the compilation of the 3 projects that I'm doing today at the end of the video. Now that the arrows are all painted and dried, I'm going to tape off the lower section, and using my Nautica chalk paint, I'm going to paint the top of the arrows blue to represent the stars field. And then once I have those all painted, I'll begin with my stars. Here, I made a stencil using my Cricut. I cut out a series of stars, and then I placed the stars on the white background, painted it with... Once I got these taped off, painted, and dried, then I made a stencil with my Cricut, and I pulled the little tiny stars out. Is like the reverse. It's a stencil I made. You pull the stars out, and then you have what's left. So I placed that over my blue field, and using my pouncer and my white chalk paint, I put a light coat on. And try not to go too heavy because I don't want it to bleed up under the stencil, even though I have pressed it down really well. But I go over it fairly lightly the first time. Give it just a couple of minutes, not long at all, to start to dry out a little bit. Then I go over it with a little bit more of the paint to make sure that I get a clean line on my stars. Then I just peel the little stars off, and it reveals the white stars on the blue background. No disrespect to the flag whatsoever making these. I just wanted to represent patriotic craft for my home, and try to be representative of the stars and stripes. So no disrespect whatsoever. But once I have those removed, I give it a light sanding to just give it a little bit of a distressed look, and then I'll get ready to decorate the body of the arrows. Now that I have these all painted, I'm going to begin to decorate them. The striped material that I have was the top of a Christmas popcorn bag that I had left over. So I just cut off the top of it, and I wanted the stripes to go slightly at a slant. So I'm going to cut that to fit on the tallest of the 4 arrows. And I'm going to put a generous amount of Mod Podge on the painted arrow, and just place my material down and flatten it with my hand, making sure that I don't have any wrinkles, and it adheres very well. I didn't have to use anything to cover my hand. I just smoothed it down with my hand, and you can kind of feel the Mod Podge underneath. After that, I'm going to put another thin coat on it to make sure that it protects the material. And again, usually with these decoupaging projects, I'll use my finger sander to go around the edges in a downward motion, and it works just as well on fabric as it does on regular paper, tissue paper, Mod Podge, whatever, Mod Podge, not Mod Podge paper, any kind of paper, scrapbook paper, anything that you use for decoupaging, it works really well on. After that, I'm going to begin my decorations for the rest of my arrows, and I want to group these together in a group of 4. These were from a project that I had started making something totally different. Use the arrows, I cut them down to size, and I had planned to use them in a housescape, but I never finished it, so I had these, and I changed my mind, as many crafters will do. So I had already glued a tumbling tower block to the back of it to make it stand up. So I left those in place, and then I'll just use those to help give it support when I stand it up. On this arrow, I decided I'm just going to do some red polka dots. This is red chalk paint that I actually made myself from just red acrylic paint, and I added some calcium carbonate, a couple of tablespoons, mixed it up well, makes a wonderful chalk paint. And I'm just using one of my little sponge daubers, and I'm going to put this one, make tiny circles. Well, not real tiny, but polka dots, we'll call them, fairly good size, to make this one completed. This one is the shortest of the 4, and I wanted to use a piece of ribbon that I have. I ordered that from Amazon. It came in a package, Patriotic package. This particular one has fireworks on it, so I wanted to use that. It's a little bit wider than I needed, but I didn't want to cut the wire off at the bottom. So after I finished wrapping it around, I just folded it at the bottom as if I were wrapping a gift to make it stay. Using my hot glue gun, I'm gonna put that in place, and that is all I'll do for this one. Now, back to the tallest one that I put the striped material on. I left just a small gap between the stars field and the striped material because I had this ruffly ribbon that I had gotten forever ago. I don't even honestly remember where I got it, probably from Amazon. Anyway, I had a small piece of roughly ribbon, and I wanted to put that around the top to have the transition between the blue field and the stripes. And eventually, once I get that on, I am going to use my finger sander and go around the edge of the board in a downward motion and remove all of the excess material from this arrow. So while I was sanding off the fabric on the striped arrow, I had a little bit of red paint on my finger, my pinky finger, didn't realize it, and I touched the white. Thank goodness I had sealed it with Mod Podge before, so I'm going to show you how to fix it real quick. I just take a wet baby wipe, get my, fingernail in there real easy without touching anything else on it, and scrub it back and forth, and it literally will come up. If I hadn't sealed it with Mod Podge, I have a feeling that it probably would not have come out, but I'm so grateful that I did. And then the very last one that we have to decorate. I was trying to figure out which kind of ribbon I wanted, so I tried a couple of different ones on, and finally ended up using the same one that I put on the small one, except this time I'm going to run it in a vertical direction, and just go from the stars lined all the way to the bottom. And then once I get that done, I'll show you how we're going to put them all together, and I'll have a nice long look at the very end of the video. Okay, so this is my last project for this video, and it's really easy to do, so I'm probably going to speed it up a little bit so the video is not quite so long, but it's easy to follow along. I started off with one of the little thin wood planks. I ordered these in bulk from Temu. I'm going to start off by staining that with some watered down antique wax. And then I'm going to take my letters that I bought at Dollar General. They were less than $1 a piece. I bought a U, an S, and an A. And I'm just going to make a little sign that can sit on one of my tier trays or on a shelf somewhere. I'm going to paint the U in the red, and then I'm going to paint the S in white and put red stripes on it. And then the A I'll paint with the nautical blue after I put my little stencil stars on, so that when it comes off, I paint it white first, but then when the stars come off, it'll have a blue background with white stars. Really easy to do, and I think it'll be easy to follow along with. So here I'm just adding my letters to my little wood board, and I'm using Gorilla wood glue and a little bit of hot glue. The hot glue will hold them in place initially until the Gorilla wood glue sets permanently. Um, just glue them sort of like in a semicircle um, design on the board. So here what I'm doing, I am going to make some little firecrackers to go on my stand with my letters USA. I found these paper straws at the Goodwill store, and I think there was like 100 straws. There were some blue and some red. I used the red in another project, so I thought I'd use the blue on this one. but they're very patriotic. They're on a blue field with white stars, and they're very easy to cut. So I cut them in lengths about probably an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter, and I packaged them in bundles of 3. So what you'll see is I take twine and wrap around each bundle to make a bundle of 3, and then I take my hot glue and I glue a piece of twine in one of the ends to make it look like it has one of the, a, I guess you'd call it a wick or whatever it is you use to light a firecracker with, sort of like a stick of dynamite. Anyway, I get those glued on and then I bundle them up, and then I'll eventually arrange them with the letters on the USA to finish up this cute little plaque. So here's the final look at the 3 projects that I did today. Very easy, very doable, very affordable, and so cute. Sitting on your tiered trays, on a shelf, anywhere in your home that you put your decor. Especially the little Highland cow. I think she's super cute.